Do you want to start clutching more situations, rounds, and games? Here's a few tips.
Bro, why did you do that?
Boom! So, we're going to jump into a clip that I have right here of me hitting, like, winning a 1v5 situation. I know my teammates are alive right here, right now. But they're in the process of being taken out, and it's technically a 1v3, and I killed 2 people before it truly became a 1v5, but I got the ace, so technically a 1v5 in my opinion. Anyways, so the whole play of this specific round was for me to throw my util. They wanted me to throw my dart so that way, and then go get a timing mid or C. I chose mid, right? After I threw my dart, I ran mid and decided to, you know, clear my angles and stuff that I normally do. Anywho, so I'm pushing up front B. My team's all dying. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to get a timing. I'm going to clear A-Link first, because that's typically, especially when a team is going A, that's typically where I can catch someone off guard, is A-Link, because they're either running from C-Link all the way around back site to the front, and then I could catch them at an off angle. The Clove was actually planning to flank us.
I think we gotta start teeing up, guys.
See, they had their knife out, caught them with their knife out. Boom. Cypher Kim was in garage. If you heard, so in mid game, I heard that. So that's why I decided to keep checking C-Link.
Yeah, rotate out. Sova has B.
So I pushed into B as fast as I could, because a lot of times, keep in mind, when you're in situations like that, there'll be about 3 options, right? So 1 is to keep progressing after getting that first pick, which is what I chose. 2, wait for your team, regroup. 3, rotate to a different part. Like, for example, instead of going front B, like progressing front B, go to garage and then fight the Cypher garage possible. But he had a cam in garage or C. I couldn't really tell exactly where, but it sounded like it was in garage. And assuming that, there was a trip garage. So there was no chance that I could go through garage without getting spotted by any util and being at a disadvantage. So I hold C-Link. He decides to swing. I hit my shot. Where the duelists were, the initiator is normally going to be playing with a duelist. That's like a good combo as an initiator duelist. Now it's a 1v3. Got my 3. Oh, yeah. Decided to run B, like front B towards mid. I hear the Gecko ult. So I'm running. I'm not getting detained by this. He has no idea where I'm at. ISO. I heard the footsteps in A lobby. Also heard him throw the vulnerable. I let the vulnerable hit me instead of trying to dodge it. And I just ran straight into garage as soon as I possibly could. Once that was done, I didn't know what they thought or where they thought that I was, right? I had no idea. So I had to kind of gauge and try to isolate 1v1s as quickly as I could. I was trying to dwindle down their numbers as fast as I could to be able to isolate the 1v1s and get a higher chance of winning the round. So I decided to re-swing after and see if I could take out this ISO. He had no idea where I was, like, at all, even though I full sprinted and made all the noise, right? So I took ISO out.
3 gone.
Remember, in 1vx situations, one of the best things you could do is isolate 1v1s. I know isolating 1v1s in 5v5 situations, 3v3, etc., don't do that. Isolating 1v1s is only really good if you are in a 1vx situation or a 2vx situation. But even then, you want to be with your teammate in a 2vx situation to see if you can isolate 2v1s and get trades. And then it could go into the isolating 1v1. But you always want to have as many people versus 1 as possible. But since it's a 1v3, I am the one. So I have to find the openings to be able to get a 1v1 situation. Both Reyna and Gecko are playing together. I see Gecko right here. I knew Reyna threw a Leer in B. They are giving me 1v1s. I'm not isolating 1v1s. They are giving me the 1v1s. I have 8 bullets here. What do I do? So I swing, tap. There's 2 bullets.
1 enemy remaining.
Now 4.
I decide, well, it's not that I decide. I had 6 bullets left. I had to take out the little buddy and then a flash coming at me, right? Without going to 0 bullets and having to reload. If I had to reload, I lose this situation. Unless somehow the Gecko whiffs and I'm able to switch to my classic or finish the reload and then finish him off. But nope. I got my 1 bullet left and I said, who's the better aimer, pal? I am.
Bro, why did you do them, bro?
Boom! So, this is a 1v5 situation that I went through and sort of my thought process of going through it. But some of the best tips that I can give anyone when it comes down to ranking up or clutching situations, stuff like that. Practice good mental. Mental is the #1 most important thing in this game. If your mental goes down, every other aspect of this game goes down. I promise you that. Mental goes down, everything goes down. Your mental has to be up. Don't get tilted too easily. If you get tilted, try to reel yourself back in. Try to gauge when you're getting tilted so you can gauge how you got to reel yourself back in. Then practice good confidence. So we have mental first, confidence. It's sort of the same thing, but it's not. Because you can have a good mental and not get tilted easily, but not be confident in yourself and your decision making, and you rely on your team to win because you're too nervous, fully behind your corner. You want to be the one to hype yourself up. You have to be the one to tell yourself, I'm hitting this. I'm hitting this. This is the right play. This is the right play. Even if it's a bad play executed with full confidence, with no hesitation, can turn out good over a good play that is executed with lack of confidence and hesitation. Then practice good positioning, communication, aim. Positioning is position your util to where there is no gaps in your setups or based off of where your teammate's util is. Attack side, depending on what role you are, use your util to help your team progress to where they need to go and execute where they need to do, or come up with plans pre-round as to what you initially want to do. And then after that, everything is technically situational. Positioning also comes with not just util, but positioning yourself to always get a trade or be traded. You want your teammates to, if you're a duelist or an initiator or whatever, like no matter what role you're playing, you always want to be in a position to be either easily traded or get the trade. Not just that, also focus on communication. Short, concise, precise comms. Always make sure that you get as much information out with as little words needed as possible. And then aim. Aim, practice good movement and crosshair placement. This game is mainly movement and crosshair placement. Yes, flicky aim is really good. Don't get me wrong. Flicky aim looks amazing. Love watching a good flick, right? Oh my God. Great flicks. Love it. But aim, the better aimer in this game is the one who has to move their crosshair the least amount to shoot the gun. So, holding an angle, you want to put yourself in a position with the least amount of error when you're holding an angle. So that way, when someone swings you, you don't have to move your crosshair as much. All you have to do is react. That, in my opinion. A lot of people will probably be like, no, but the person who can consistently flick better is the one that's the better aimer. Not necessarily. Flicking is great, but there is so much room for error in flicks, that it is not guaranteed to always win the fight. So I know this video seemed a little longer than what I was expecting when I was recording, but these are my tips on how you can clutch situations, my thought process on a clutch situation that I went through, and some tips on what I think would help grow as a player. Also, play the role you want to play. It doesn't matter. Everyone insta-locks, right? There's a lot of people that insta-lock. I'm a fill person, but that's because I enjoy filling. I want to fill, right? If you want to fill, understand each role. Before you start filling, make sure you understand each role. But if you don't understand each role and you have a specific role that you feel the most confident in, play that role. I would rather have a triple duelist comp, right? With 3 duelists that are so confident in themselves, so great at duelist, than someone who wanted to play duelist, but saw someone else insta-lock the duelist and was like, fuck, now I have to fill. And then they fill a role that they have no business playing because they don't play it. They fill a role that they don't have a lot of experience playing. That is honestly an annoying thing for me. I would rather my team play what they want to play. Yes, it seems at first, especially a fill person, seeing 3 insta-lock duelists right away kind of initially gets annoying. But once I think about it mid agent select, I'm like, they're probably going to be good. I'll fill my role. You know, I'll do the role because I'm confident in myself in almost every, not necessarily every agent, but every role. There's like 2-ish agents, Neon and Yoru, that I don't play due to the fact that I don't practice their util and I don't practice their movement and stuff like that. Also, one last thing before I end this video, I do want to let you guys know that situational plays, after the initial start of the round, everything is situational. So if you struggle in certain situations, the best thing you could do is to get yourself in more situations like that. The more situations you get yourself into, the less nervous you'll get, the less you'll overthink about it. The more times you see yourself in situations like that, the better chance you have of making the right choice because you've had the experience of like, oh, I did this last time I was in some kind of situation like this. It didn't work out. Maybe I'll try this. And then soon, once you get into enough, get enough reps under your belt, then things start to add up and then things start to become secondhand nature and you don't have to overthink. You just need to make sure that you are playing your game, right? So that's one last thing that I wanted to say.